Hello, happy Sunday, everybody. So I'm gonna share this over on Insta. Just waiting. I'm just waiting for the room to fill up. Alrighty, there's that. There's that. Good morning, morning, morning. Happy Sunday. So yay. So excited to have you guys here. Good morning. I can't believe that February is just pretty much over. Today's the last day of February. It's insane. Anyway, we had an oncology appointment. We have a lot to talk about today, but I'm going to try and keep it quick. We had an oncology appointment, and boy, is my head overwhelmed. I actually had a couple people reach out to me to ask me to update them on what happened, but when I got home yesterday, it was a 3-hour appointment. And as you guys know, we're still in, lockdown, so I had to sit in a parking lot for that long. It actually went by very fast. I brought my computer with me, got some work done, grabbed a bite to eat. It went really quickly, but it was a lot of information. The veterinarian that we're working with, she specializes in lymphoma, and she was a straight shooter, which I so appreciate. I know that a lot of veterinarians sometimes tiptoe around bad news because they know that they're about to wreck your world. But she was just very upfront, and it was nice because it was like, okay, I can ask some questions. I know what's going on. And since I had already researched so much, nothing she really told me surprised me. So I didn't walk away feeling completely shocked. But I did walk away with a ton of medication. Thankfully, most of it Scout does not have to take. It's a lot of just in case medication. So to rewind, on February 4th, I was massaging Scout and I found a lump in his throat. And it was huge. And it wasn't soft or squishy, but it did move around. So I figured that it was probably a good idea to get a vet appointment and have that checked out. So 5 days later, we were at the vet. They did a fine needle aspirate. It came back as lymphoma. So there are 2 types of lymphoma. There's B-cell lymphoma, which is like the good news, and T-cell lymphoma, which is the bad news. However, I have been reading up on all things lymphoma, and I have seen pet parents posting about how their dog was diagnosed with T-cell lymphoma, and a year and a half later, their dog is still in remission and doing well. So this just goes to show you that every dog is different. And one thing that I remind myself to keep myself in good spirits and positive is that I don't have dogs like other people have dogs, and I'm not your average pet parent. So, the oncologist let us know that she believes in her gut that Scout has B-cell lymphoma. And the reason why is because usually when it's T-cell, the dogs go to the vet sick, and then they find the swollen lymph nodes and they tested it as T-cell lymphoma. With B-cell lymphoma, many of the dogs, the swollen lymph nodes are found most of the time by a veterinarian during a wellness check. But otherwise, the dog presents absolutely normal, not sick at all. Everything's great. So, and that's where Scout is. Another thing is that calcium in the blood is high in T-cell lymphoma, whereas in B-cell lymphoma, the blood work looks perfectly normal, which was the same as with Scout. He's had 2 blood panels now, and both came back perfectly normal. So he's doing really well. I did a teaser yesterday about how I was able to drop the size of his lymph nodes by more than 50% within like a week. And the reason why is because of this really amazing supplement. I wish I had it with me, but I don't, called, I'm going to spell it out in the comments. It's called Poly MBA. So Michael, Victor, Albert for pets. So there's a version for humans as well, and there's one for pets. Hi, Rhonda. So basically what it is, it's a super supplement that boosts the immune system, helps the dog stay stronger, gives him more energy, and helps him do better through the cancer treatments. And so I actually bought this with Sydney, and it didn't do anything for her. And actually, you know, I want to explain, there's the difference between Sydney and Scout is night and day, is absolutely night and day. Whereas Sydney was pretty much sick the entire time. She had some days where she was like, she seemed to be perking up, but then she would just go downhill and then go downhill some more. Whereas Scout is perfectly fine. He's eating great. He's eating all of his food. He loves his food. He's taking all of the supplements that I'm giving to him. None of them are making him nauseous. Of course, because of Sydney, I'm starting at low doses of different things and bringing them up, you know, the stuff that I'm adding to his diet. So the herbs and such, but he's doing so good. But yeah, so we're still going to test to see what type of lymphoma, if it's B cell or T cell. When you go to the oncologist, you have an opportunity to do as many, like several tests. So, you know, ultrasound, x-rays, you know, different tests to test the type of lymphoma it is, to see how far it's spread, if it's spread at all. And all of these tests serve to help the oncologist determine the right path that you want to take. There's also multiple paths to take as far as treatment. You can choose not to do chemo. You can just do prednisone, which is a steroid that boosts the immune system and gives a dog a little more time. The problem with lymphoma is that it is an aggressive cancer. It's like, yay me, I got 2 for 2 with aggressive cancers. But with this cancer, when you choose not to do anything, there is a chance that your dog can turn, even though Scout is doing great right now, he can turn around and he'll be gone in a month. You know, we just don't know. And we're not ready. We're not ready to let him go. And there are different things out there. I chose to go with chemo. I've had people reach out to me, despite the fact that I asked them not to warn me against chemo and tell me, oh, don't do chemo. You can just do natural and your dog will be just fine. Yeah, if you're not a veterinarian, I am so not hearing it. I'm not even close to being interested in what you think I should do with my dog in this situation. And it's insane to me that people would actually reach out to strangers and give them medical advice when they are in no way qualified to do so. But that's social media for you. So I chose to go the chemo route. It's the CHOP method, which basically with lymphoma, it is an adaptable cancer. And it's also a liquid cancer. So it's everywhere, it has the potential to spread everywhere. And the problem is that it's not something that you can go in and cut out. It's just there. So what we need to do is just shut it down, make it go into sleep mode or remission, and try and stay there for as long as possible. But ultimately, this is probably going to be what Scout dies from. But I'm just hoping that he won't die from this for several more years. So by going chemo, I'm extending his life with us. So I can go natural and roll the dice and pray that everything goes well. My issue is that if it doesn't go well, I got to follow my gut. And my gut tells me to go the chemo route. I believe in combining traditional with holistic. So it's the CHOP method. As I was saying, chemo adapts. So if you just do one medication, chemo adapts, the cancer adapts. If you just do one medication or one chemotherapy medication, the cancer will adapt, get used to it, and then it won't be as effective anymore. So with the CHOP method, it's basically shaking things up. He took his first chemo yesterday. It was just, I don't know if it was a shot or a pill. I can't remember, but he had his first chemo yesterday. He'll go again on Saturday, and basically every week he'll go for an appointment. Then he'll have 1 week off where he just goes and gets blood work to see where he's at, and then he starts up again. And we are going to be doing this for a lovely 6 months. It'll start with weekly now. And then when we get to a point to see how he's doing, it may spread out to like every other week. But we'll see how it goes. And you guys, this ain't cheap. So if you do not have pet insurance, get pet insurance, because you do not want to be facing the numbers that are going to be coming your way with a cancer diagnosis. I had Trupanion with Sydney, and I have Embrace with Scout. And so far, Embrace, I'm new to Embrace, so I'm a little nervous about Embrace pet insurance, but if you are looking for a choice, the difference is that they both pretty much offer the same thing. Trupanion is more expensive. So whereas I'm spending about $30, I think, a month with Embrace, I would be spending closer to up like 48 to 50, $45 to $50 a month with Trupanion. With Embrace, I have a $200 deductible. With Trupanion, I had a $1,000 deductible. And oh my God, Trupanion is really expensive. However, Trupanion also pays right away. You can practically have them pay the vet directly. I mean, when I would submit a reimbursement or, receipts and everything, I got the money back just like that. With Embrace, it's taking a little longer. One, because this is my first claim with them, and two, because they want tons of information. I just came on board a year ago, so I'm sure they're looking at it as, and already we have a cancer diagnosis, so they want they want a medical history for Scout to confirm that this isn't pre-existing. It's not, and so I'm not too terribly worried about not being able to get my money back, but it's just a little longer of a process. So that's just a quick idea of what the difference is. Just make sure you get pet insurance, because I've been going in and out of lymphoma groups, and unlike the hemangiosarcoma group, which you can basically just join that group and take in all of the information people are sharing if they post it in their files, and you're good. You don't actually have to. I think I posted like maybe 3 times in that group. And one of those was just an introduction, and the other one was to say that we had to say goodbye. So it wasn't a whole lot in that group. Whereas in the lymphoma groups, it just seems sad, where people are just giving up right away. And I don't know their situation, but it just, the hemangiosarcoma group, which is like, I had a really dire case of hemangio with Sydney, but I still felt hopeful. I mean, they were so good at making you feel hopeful and giving you hope. The lymphoma groups, the 2 that I joined, and I don't know if it's just me or what, but it just doesn't feel hopeful when I know that there is hope. So if you are struggling with a lymphoma case, I would say be careful about where you choose to get information. I joined one Facebook group. I ended up leaving it a week later. I joined another Facebook group like a couple of days ago. I think I'll be leaving this one as well. It's just not positive. And I honestly believe that when we're dealing with something like this, we have to be as positive as possible. So you'll have to find the support somewhere else. There you go. So the medication, as I want to just show you the amount of medication that I got. This is not it. This is part of it. And then here's more, and one more. So yay, this is all of the medication, and I have to put it in, I have it all in a cute little box along with his supplements, and I'll put it away later. But basically the medication that they gave me was, he went on prednisone the same day that he started chemotherapy. Prednisone is a steroid. As I've read, a lot of people sometimes will put their dog on prednisone because it's sort of like, let's just do something, and then we'll get the test done, and then we can decide what chemo route we're going to take. The problem with that is that if you put a dog on prednisone for too long before you actually start chemo, not only will you make the chemo less effective, when they do tests, they may not even see the cancer because it suppresses the cancer. So, I knew enough about that, and I knew that I wanted to start chemo yesterday. I wanted to just get it started right away. So it wasn't too much of a concern. So he is on prednisone. I got medication for vomiting and nausea, medication for diarrhea, medication for anxiety, because he was like so shaken up and nervous. And so what they're worried about is on the appointments where he has to go in and have an IV, he has 2 appointments where he's just going to get a pill and sit home, and then 2 appointments where he'll actually, it's an injection. So on those days, they're a little worried about his stress levels. So they're going to have me medicate him before he goes. The vomiting and diarrhea drugs are just in case. So if I happen to notice that he's feeling nauseous, that he's vomiting, that he has diarrhea that won't stop, then I have something to give him. The reason why they gave it to me yesterday is because I don't want to be like at 8 o'clock at night having a dog that's vomiting and have to go to emergency vet, pay that money, sit forever, however long to get seen, then pay for the medication, and then go home and get him treated. Now I can just treat him right away. So my hope is that he won't need any of this, because dogs tolerate chemo way better than humans. The things that we mostly worry about is hair loss and nausea, weight loss, low energy, and, lack of appetite. We're not experiencing any of that so far, and most dogs don't experience any of it. What they might experience is like maybe the day after a chemo treatment, they may be a little tired, or they may have a little bit of loose stool, but it's not going to be explosive diarrhea or anything like that. And in what I was reading from other people who went through chemo with their dogs, like people were like in the entire 6 months, maybe their dog had diarrhea once. I mean, like this is common where dogs really don't have any issues. So I'm glad to have the pills in case we need them. It sucks that I had to pay for them only to not use them, but I'd rather pay for them and not use them than need them and not have them, if that makes sense. So, and then finally, there are the supplements that I'm adding to his diet. So I don't know how to say this because it's in Chinese, but I got it off. It's called from a place called Kingdom of Basil. It's local to me, and it's sold on Etsy. And I actually bought this for Sydney before, but it made her sick and she wouldn't eat it. But Scout eats it just fine. But this basically is a Chinese herbs that induce what is it? I don't know how to pronounce the word, but basically cell death. It's going to go through and find the cells and kill them. This one is artemisinin, I guess. And this is another one. And it was recommended by the same person who does this. She has a lymphoma protocol that she lists. And so he gets this every day. This also slows the cancer and does cell death. Canine System Saver, which you guys all know about how much I love this. Of course, mushroom complex, because it has all the lovely mushrooms in it. I also have my own immune system blend that I posted about. So I give this one in the morning, the mushroom complex, and the immune system blend in the evening, just in case he has any type of nausea, diarrhea, loose stool. I was already giving him, this is Runs Be Gone by Dr. Harvey. I don't know if you guys can see it because there's a lot of light, but so this has slippery elm in it. So it's great for gut health. It's great for feeling nauseous or vomiting. I want to make sure his heart is strong. So I have coenzyme Q10. And then, of course, because he's having a lot of stuff flushed through his system, I want to make sure his liver is healthy so that it is flushing everything out. So that's what this is for. So, and the vet was okay with, well, I didn't ask the vet about these two, but the vet was okay with, the supplements. Oh, and also finally, Canapet CBD oil does a good job of slowing cancer and killing cancer cells. So a lot's going on in his diet, but so far he's dealing with it with no issues. Of course, this is only the first day after his first chemo treatment, but almost a month since I first found a lump, and he's doing great. I am also incorporating essential oils into his treatment. So you guys know that I am a new lover of Animalio. And so I am diffusing Sunshine in a Bottle, Chamomile, and Warmth. And I'm also diffusing Strength, and I had to order some more Strength. I just ordered some more Warmth from this weekend's flash sale, but I'm diffusing 24/7. We have diffusers in every room on the floor that the dogs are on. And I just basically have one of these diffusing in all of the diffusers all around the house every day. Every Sunday, so today, Scout will have the Aroma Boost collection. And so that is the 5 oils where you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you just put it from the tail to the neck and massage it into their coat. And that is supposed to, get the body, hey, sweetie, all equal and balanced and lovely. And then during the week, 2 times. So like Sunday is the Aroma Boost collection. And then actually, I think it's Monday. I think Monday is my Aroma Boost collection. And then like Wednesday, I will do Sunshine in a Bottle. Saturday, I will do Sunshine in a Bottle. So that is the routine. Sunshine in a bottle is just basically one bottle of this. So, and then I ordered a ton more oils. It's insane how many oils I ordered recently. So that is it. That's what we're doing. The outlook is good. So because he is doing the CHOP method, his prognosis is like he will live another year. 20 to 25% of dogs who do the CHOP method live up to 2 years. Now, it's always important when you hear those numbers to keep in mind that they're talking about the average dog. And we all know what the average dog eats and what the average dog is subjected to toxin-wise. So when we have dogs that aren't vaccinated, that are fed a raw food diet, we can, we can't always beat the odds, but sometimes, I feel a little more confident because he's not fighting an uphill battle. So there you go. The other thing that I wanted to say is that I am still going to feed him a raw food diet, even though he is on chemo. I was advised not to, but the way I'm getting around the concern about bacteria is I'm feeding him Answer's pet foods. And we all know that Answer's defeated that bacteria argument by fermenting their foods. And it's easier to get him into ketosis. I will not be testing him to make sure he's in ketosis because he hates having his lip punctured. And I just want to leave him alone. I don't want to, he's doing good. And so we're going to leave it the way it is. And he's doing really good. He loves his food. So I ordered a ton of Answers and I will continue ordering it, going back and forth between the straight and the detailed formula. And then finally, vaccinations. So this is something that I wrote about in my blog post. It published at 9:00 this morning on Keep the Tail Wagging. But I was also told that since he's not vaccinated, and it's actually a misnomer, he is vaccinated. He was vaccinated as a puppy and he got annual boosters. He just hasn't been vaccinated in, 6 years. So, but I was told not to take him around other dogs that he doesn't know, not to take him to the dog park, things like that. Well, lucky for me, I don't go to the dog park. My dogs don't associate with dogs that they don't know. We're blessed to live on 5 acres. So we just go outside and play and have fun. And so he's doing okay. So that is it as far as that's the cancer update. Everything is going really, really well. Yay, you can use homeopathy. It encompasses a lot, so maybe able to cut down on the supplements. You know what? I would love that, and I will reach out to you to learn more because I got my first homeopathy kit, but I don't really know how to use it. And so it would be awesome to connect with you and talk to you about that a little bit more. So I will reach out to you later today to find out when you have time this week. Kimberly says, in the end, you are the mama and you will do what is best for Scout. You got this. Keep the tail wagging. Thank you. I'm really excited that he's doing okay. I think that the thing that's the most stressful is managing our emotions, the humans in the house, because I know my boyfriend is completely stressed out. Scout is his favorite dog. So he's really stressed out. We've already had our first horrible fight, just in the midst of all of this, last week. But it's managing our emotions and remembering that he's fine and staying in that mindset rather than going all the way to he's dying and being depressed and stuff all over the place. We want to stay positive for him and we want to stay positive for ourselves. So that's what we're doing. Boom. So that's what's going on. So that being said, I will be taking a slight social media break. I have to. My focus needs to be on Scout and it's a lot. I mean, we have a lot going on, a lot that I'm learning, and I can't do tons of social media and write my blog and take care of my dogs and take care of Scout with all the vet appointments and everything and work a full-time job and go through a remodel. The laundry room is almost finished. So yeah, it's a lot. So I'm going to be backing up a little bit and I'm really excited about it. Yeah. And okay. And there's one more thing. I said I was going to stop talking about lymphoma, but I have one more thing, which she told me, which was interesting. The oncologist told me, and I'd be curious if any of you have heard this before. And, because I did some research on it and I disagree. So she told me that there is a new study, and I'm going to say study, that says that we're not supposed to give our dogs antioxidants when they're on chemotherapy. And that seems wrong. So the idea is that, I don't know why, but in this small study of breast cancer patients, they had them give them a list of, they went through and tracked how they were doing, and they asked for a list of, what other supplements are you adding to your diet while you're going through this? And then anyone at the end of the study who didn't do as well, they looked at their supplements and they came to the determination that the people who didn't do as well were taking these antioxidants, but they didn't share, like, what were they taking? Were they eating berries? Were they doing mushrooms, like medicinal mushrooms? Were they doing any type of Chinese herbs? Were they just doing a synthetic supplement called antioxidants? What were they taking? I can't find that information. And Ashley says it's because antioxidants promotes cell life and chemo needs to kill cells. But it's just sort of like, I struggle with this study because I don't have any information. And so there needs to be a little bit more information. That being said, I don't think my vet went through, I gave her a list of all the supplements that he gets to decide, is should any of this be taken off the menu? And she was fine with everything that I'm giving to him. So he's still getting medicinal mushrooms. He's still getting the poly-MVA, both of which offer antioxidants. But yeah, it's just like, gosh, your mind is gonna, if you go through this, just prepare for your mind to just be, what's it called? Cotton balls. And so there's that. So anyway, and yes, and I know that I can ask Dr. Kosher, but I kind of like to talk to other people about these things, because sometimes it's interesting what other people, sort of like to compare notes with what other people have heard if they've gone through a cancer scare and what they've learned from their oncologist and then how they treated it. Because yes, our veterinarians are amazing resources, but another amazing resource is someone who actually went through treating their dog for cancer, and what they fed their dog, what they added to the diet, all of those type of things. That's also just as important as well. So that's why I'm asking for your feedback. And Marta says, yep, I heard that too. Advice was against mushrooms as far as I have read, but I am not sure why. But yeah, and then Tracy, great point. It's like, you have to take in the information, but don't overthink it. And yeah, keto diet all the way. Answers makes it so much easier too. So the final thing is that I dumped my Dig Direct store. I was going to promote Dig Direct products. I love their products. I thought it would be so much fun just to have my own store with all the different things, but it's not a good fit for me. And for very, very many reasons, I am the worst fit for that opportunity. So I walked away, and I already have my own Teespring store, and I started going through it, and there's all kinds of cool stuff in there. So I'm going to be promoting that. And one thing that I created, I took 2 shirts and combined them. So the front says Live, Love, Raw, and the back has definition of raw feeding. And it's just a tongue-in-cheek, funny definition of what a raw feeder is that people can understand. And so check that out. You can head over to keepthetailwagging.com. I don't even know what the links are, but if you go over to my blog, there's a shop in the menu bar, and you click on that, it'll take you right over to the store. And Casey says, no antioxidants isn't new. Artemisia protocol decades ago, antioxidants contradicted it, or contraring, I don't know. I'll try to dig it up for you. Thank you, I appreciate that. But this is really not new at all. I also bring this up as ask your oncologist when considering antioxidant supplementation. I've dealt with cancer of my own apple, but never chemotherapy, so antioxidants were always used. And yes, the oncologist is fine with what is in Scout's diet. So I'm just interested because this is something new to me. And from what I was reading last night, it seemed like a new thing because people were talking about this breast cancer study. So it would be really interesting to learn more about that. Marta says, I actually keep taking advice from my oncologist and my rheumatologist who specializes in autoimmunity. They don't always agree on things. So that is it. that's all I had to say. 30 minutes. That's pretty good. I am going to go back to my Sunday and let you guys get back to your Sunday. I want to say thank you so much for all the well wishes and good thoughts. It really helped to keep me in a positive space rather than getting into my own head and getting depressed about everything. Again, Scout is doing fantastic. If you are struggling with a cancer diagnosis, then I am so sorry, because it is a very hard road to follow. I think that I have a little bit, I don't know what the word is. I'm a little ahead of a lot of people because I'm a blogger, because I've been researching this stuff for years, and because I have friends who are in the know that I can reach out to and ask questions for. And I'm so grateful for that privilege. But if you are not so lucky, find that group, find the people, get what you need. And definitely, if you guys haven't done so already, please get in pet insurance. Please get pet insurance, because you will not be sorry. So enjoy your Sunday, and thanks so much for sitting with me. Bye, guys.